Hey there everybody, Kibatu here, and I'm going to simplify and give you a step-by-step guide of all the things you need to do on AR40. Let's go dig into it. When you hit AR40, prioritize to max level your main DPS right away. The main reason to this is due to the fact there's a level gap mechanic in the game where you deal less damage the lower your level compared to the enemy. Also, you get hit harder. The higher the enemy is compared to your level. You'll realize that when you hit AR40, all enemies become harder. It's like really hard. This is the reason for that. So when I say max your unit, it means max level 80, where you've also 5-star ascended your unit. Ascension by killing elite bosses is also a great source of artifacts. But let's talk about that more later. If you then say, Ibadu, I don't have resources for this. How do I max level 80 a 5-star character right away? The game is a marathon, not a sprint. Do experience and gold ley lines until you can max level your character, even if it takes 3 days or even a week. I have from level 70 to 80, I think it's 3 days to a week. Assuming you put in like talents, assuming you put in like weapon dungeons, I think that's where it's at. So after you max out the level of your character, it's time to work on the weapon. So work on your main DPS's weapon. The base attack calculated in our damage multipliers are tightly linked to our base weapon. So the higher the level of the weapon, the higher the damage. Then you'd ask, but Kibatu, we only have certain days to farm for the weapon ascension. This is where planning comes in. On the time that you are maxing a character, you should determine what day you're going to set aside to only farm for weapon ascension material. Let's say for my catching. Her weapon is currently the black sword from Battle Pass. When I click enhance and go to ascend, we'd know that weapon ascension day is on Tuesdays or Fridays. So on Tuesday or Friday, I would dump all of my resin to farm out her weapon ascensions material until I max it out. This also ensures that we can kill faster and hit harder, so we can then farm faster for the other materials that we'd need for other characters. Max out your character talent up to purple books and then ignore the purple book talents. Purple book talents are usually the level 7 and up, assuming you have C0 on your units. What do you mean, Kibatu? Why should we ignore purple book talents? It's better to do these ones slowly. These talents are time gated on the weekly bosses, the Valen and the Wolf, as you can only get one from each. This is why it's better to put your time into leveling out other characters than ready up your talent books. If you look at the screen and check out my catching, she has purple book talents but no weekly mats for it. In my opinion, it's better to just revisit it at higher AR levels, 45 plus. Just as your main weapon ascension material, we all know that talent books have their daily schedules as well. So we also plan for this and dedicate a day to just farm out our talent book for our current character being maxed out. Work on one character at a time. Don't spread your resources too thin. I was bringing level 4 and level 7 characters just to do Abyss. Because even with my 2 maxed out characters, I can do Abyss because I invested in them. Choose your next unit to max out. Usually it's your second team main DPS or support DPS. It'll make your Abyss life much more easier. Repeat step 1 to 3 on this step-by-step guide, and then do it for the current character you want to max out. Identify what your character's weapon artifact and weapon days are and use your resin to farm for them. This will usually take about 1 to 1.5 weeks per character, depending if you use Primo Gems to refresh your resin or not. Work on your artifacts and do a free daily artifact run. These are usually level 1 to 2 artifacts that you get through investigation. Get your current artifacts while ascending characters, as the elite bosses drop Wanderer's Troop and Gladiator set. I've been using these 2 sets on all of my current characters unless I have something better. I'll show you my current character's artifacts at the end of this step. Don't min-max your characters. You'll know that the longer we go into the late game, most of our equipment being used currently is gonna be thrown out the window, used for food on our current artifacts. These are my current artifacts. So if you look at my catching over here, she has gladiators and wanderer's troop. I just didn't min-max whatever set I did. I'm just going with like attack, and crit rate. That's just basically it. Now to my Mona. My Mona, I used Berserker set. It was the old set of my catching and gladiator. I went for attack, hydro, and crit rate. But my crit rate is not yet max. But it's okay. My Venti, I went for like an elemental mastery set. So it's instructor and wondrous troop. I think I can get like 300 elemental mastery, and none of his sets are even upped because I don't have resources for it right now. My next one is Fischl. Well, Fischl on the other hand, I think she has her max set because she's one of my highest maxed out characters earlier on. All of the best sets back then were hers, so Berserker and Wondrous Troop there. Xiangling, I think with my Xiangling, I went for Gladiator's Finale and Exile set. I don't have any other better sets because I have like a pyro damage and Exile set there, so I used it. On my Xingqiu, I think my Xingqiu, but I didn't min-max my Xingqiu yet. So he's currently like Gladiator and like whatever set that I can put on him, but he's going to be a Blessed and Obliged later on. On my Noelle, I think my Noelle has been the same set since my AR30 days. These are my shitty AR30 artifacts. It's all defense, defense, and defense. I will go back to her later down the road, so no problem there. My Traveler still has like 3-star sets. I don't know. I don't use him that much anymore ever since I had catching. I will min-max him later on as well. Barbara. This is my current set on Barbara. I think I have 5-star sets on her because I'm very unlucky with HP set. But the rest of the characters I don't do anything. Do your daily farm or weekly farming routes. Farm your non-resident bosses every day and do your ore farms every 3 days. This is where co-op comes in. Since if you go with a party of 4, you'll have 4 times the loot for ores and bosses instead of one also faster farming. This is also good as you get artifact drops, extra Mora. Don't even expect much. And also have ready materials for future units. If you can't do this every day, then it's best to have a farming day on the weekend with friends and just take this game slowly and have fun. It is better to have designated farming routes so you can farm faster. I'll be making a farming route video for both ores and non-resident bosses after this video. So make sure to like, subscribe, and to have your bell notification icon up so that you'll be notified when it's out. Bonus tips! Do not farm the artifact dungeons. This is a surefire way to hinder your progression as the current artifact dungeons have 1:10 ratio with 5 stars. I cannot stress enough to not even try to do this below AR45 unless you have extra resin, especially if you're free to play. If you're away, then by all means, go at it, go. Be free. Get your artifacts from ascending your characters. I'm gonna say it again, this game is a marathon, not a sprint. Never work on your talents on a freaking Sunday. Oh my god, please. I've done this myself, but don't do this. If you don't know where to dump your resin, I have a resin video down below. Do not pre-grind materials unless you have a good maxed out roster. Prioritize main DPS on 2 teams, then 1 semi DPS, then your healer or tank. And that's it for the current video.